WeatherScope.
The sprawling storm that dampened most of the east this week is making an exit, but it's still impacting some of you in the northeast. Good evening and welcome to this edition of WeatherScope. I'm Mike Seidel.
And I'm Sharon Resulted. Rain is becoming a daily word in parts of the west, and today, of course, no exception there. Another vigorous system is slamming on the coast, but we're going to start out tonight with a system that's dominated the weather for this week, and that is the storm in the east. Let's see what happened as an effect of the heavy rain. Well, heavy rain here forced the Madeford River at Middletown, Rhode Island, to raise above its banks, flooding roads and yards, as you can see. Some roads have been closed, and we do want to remind you at this point that if you are out driving around and you see roadways, such as what you just saw there in the video, where water is covering the road, we advise you to find an alternate route. That can be a very dangerous situation. You never know how much water is covering the roadways or the force of the water. It can be very, very dangerous. So use some common sense out there. Traveling into parts of southern New England and on up into Maine, well, it's generally a rain event, as I mentioned, as I speak right now. You head into central Maine, and there is enough cold air that we're starting to see some regions changing over. So generally just north of I-95 and to the west of I-95, mixing with some snow at times or an all-snow event, as is the case across northern Maine. There's a second system here too, and if you look at it here at the surface perspective, you'll see this area of low pressure. This one will track on into western portions of New York State. So the steady rains will continue through the evening for you into western Pennsylvania, western New York, and become more of a scattery type precipitation, scattered precipitation heading on into your Thursday. Did want to mention with our system just off the coast, still really causing quite a bit of wind here from Eastport, Maine, back down around Merrimack River. And there's a look at the two precipitation events. One up to the north with our northern low, and the other one still bringing some rain into areas like Elmira and Binghamton. And a rain event here too across much of southern Ohio, and even extending on up northward around South Bend. A little bit of drizzle has been reported. Kind of unusual this time of the year. You'd think it would be snow, but the air is mild enough to support rain even into portions of Minnesota, becoming more of a snow event here with just some light snow into areas like Minot and back down around the Bismarck area. That's a look at what's happening in the east. How about the west, Mike?
And Sharon, in the west, El Nino influenced storms aren't ready to let up in the west. Another one has moved into the Pacific Northwest, and we're also seeing a bout of severe weather tonight in Texas. We'll start you off with the severe weather in Texas, then we'll get you updated on the new western storm, now getting ready to move on shore. In Texas, though, it's almost springtime thunderstorms, and you can see them flaring up around the Waco area. By the way, we had a tornado warning earlier for the areas around Live Oak County. That has been canceled. Storms out to the east of San Antonio, and individual storms dropping heavy rain and reports of golf ball-sized hail around the Waco area. Look out around the College Station area, also the Bryan area, and these storms will be moving east towards the Houston area. There's Houston, Galveston. So look out later on tonight. These storms will have a life certainly through the later hours of this evening. And they're all moving east at 20 to 25 miles an hour. Numerous warnings out for the counties around Waco, including Falls and Milam, and also down around San Antonio. Those of you in DeWitt, Gonzales, Burnett, Williamson, and also in Bastrop County, counties are under severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll keep you updated. Well, there's that storm in the southwest, also producing snows in the southern Rockies. Here's our next Pacific storm, and that is causing problems already along the Oregon coast. Take a look at what we took today picture-wise. Here's some video from the Oregon coast where it's been windy and rainy, heavy surf advisories. Waves may make it as high as 18 feet, and we'll have winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour. The rain, though, really hasn't had a major impact on your highway ride along 101 there along the Oregon coast. Traffic moving fairly steadily. There's your gale warning tonight, Cape Shoalwater to Cape Mendocino, and the heavy surf advisory is almost a given in this case, all the way down through southern California. The storm in the front, still well offshore, will be following that onshore. That will bring rain into the LA basin tomorrow night and into Thursday night into Friday morning. Right now, though, rain, Seattle, Portland, down towards San Francisco. This is all encroaching on the area, wet commute in the Bay Area. And again, the rain will not affect you in Los Angeles until late tomorrow night and Friday. The snows, though, will impact you. Some areas in the California Sierra and the Cascades, 6 to 12 inches. Now, let's talk more about how all this is being influenced by El Nino with tonight's El Nino Focus. Here's Sharon.
Thanks, Mike. NASA has released some new data concerning El Nino and its effects on rainfall throughout the world. Rich Johnson gives us the details in tonight's El Nino Focus.
If you ever wanted to see what El Nino looks like, this is as close as you can get. These are the latest sea surface temperature readings from NASA, and you can certainly see, in red, the warm waters that make up El Nino. Recently, areas from California to Florida have experienced heavy rainfall. And as Antonio Busolacci of NASA explains, scientists are continuing their study.
What we're showing here is how the rainfall level has changed from normal throughout the world. So it's as if we had rain buckets around the world, and we're showing how much excess rainfall, which is the green colors. And for example, in the eastern tropical Pacific, that excess, that surplus of rainfall is 6 to 9 feet more than normal during 1997. And over areas such as Indonesia, it's as if we took away 5 to 6 feet.
Next Wednesday on an all-new Voyager, 7 of 9 makes a shocking accusation.